Okay, in this video, we're going to wrap up the psychology of Facebook ads. We've gone over how to use the ads platform and then talked about the psychology of ads for e-commerce, talked about the psychology of ads for small and local businesses, and then also talked about the psychology of ads for lead generation and all the different types of businesses that includes, because lead generation is a very large concept and topic. And then finally, we looked at understanding the conversion funnel and the value ladder, how that applies to your business and getting into paid marketing with Facebook ads. Finally, now I just want to outline a plan for your business. And this course is going to very closely follow the Facebook ads game plan, but really what I want you to see here from this before we move any further is kind of bring this all together, everything that I've been talking about with some of the psychology here and the introduction stuff, because from here moving forward is going to start to get into very hands-on types of things. I mean, not that these videos haven't been practical. I hope they've been very practical for you with stuff that you can apply and knowledge that helps break through for what you need to do in your business to make this work. But moving on, like in the next section, we're getting into the pixel and installing that. And in the next section, creating your Facebook page and then into the ads manager. So here is where it's time to kind of put the game plan out there and let you know what this is all going to look like. So number one, you want to understand your marketing and branding goals. This is homework that only you can do. I can give you all the information. I can show you the different types of goals that you can have, but you're the one that has to understand what you are trying to do and accomplish with your business with Facebook. Overall, on a very simple level, we understand that every business is looking to probably increase their reach, increase their sales, and create consistency in their business and bringing in new and repeat customers. So, I get that, but you want to understand more on an intrinsic level your marketing and branding goals, like how you're going about that. Are you going to do that by just launching a lot of deals? Are you going to do that by being really unique and different and standing out? Are you going to do that by providing content that nobody else provides, right? Are you trying to build an audience on Facebook? Are you just trying to drive traffic to your website? Do you want to build an email list based around a promotion or an offer or a free mini course or something? Are you just trying to gain more awareness in your area to become more popular so people check in more and come to eat there more or drink there more, like all those types of things. So that's what you want to understand about your marketing and your branding goals. And a great thing to do is just go to Facebook and look at what similar competitors have done in your industry. All right, if you're like a national or a large brand or an e-commerce brand that just sells online, you can pick from any type of business that does the same type of thing. Just make sure they're in the same category. If you are a local small business, say you're a pizza shop or something like that, then look up a pizza shop on Facebook and just find one that's in a different area doing something well. Like there's so many businesses on Facebook, so many ads that you can look at, and all you really have to do is use the search feature. And we're gonna talk about this later when we get into market research, but you can use the search feature to find other businesses that are doing things well and get ideas for your branding and marketing goals based on what they're doing. But that's going to be specific to your business and what you are looking to accomplish. I'm giving you the tools to accomplish that. Number two, you want to identify and research your audience. Okay, so the way that we're going through this training is a little bit different because you need to understand the platform, and I'm trying to set this up in a very natural and organic way to walk you through everything. But when you really get down to it, you only have to learn the platform once, right? So once you learn the platform, you're good, and then your game plan just becomes what it is right here. You don't have to worry about the platform. So that's kind of how I wrote this game plan out, where number one, you're always going to want to look at your marketing and branding goals, because that could be based on quarter to quarter, that could be yearly, that could be every single month, that could be every week you might have a new campaign. So what are your marketing and branding goals for whatever you're about to launch on Facebook? Okay. And then number two, you want to identify and research the audience behind that goal. Who is your ideal customer? And how are you going to reach them? How do you identify that ideal customer on Facebook? What's their age group? What's their income level? Are they a family? Are they married? Do they have kids? Did they go to school? Did they go to college? What's their profession? Where do they live? Like, those types of things are all ways that you want to narrow in on your audience, so you know exactly who you're going to be crafting everything else for. You can see how these build on each other in a very progressive way. Because number 3, then, now you want to determine your message and how you want to be perceived as a company on Facebook. This is a social media platform, okay? So always remember that. Always remember, this is not LinkedIn where it's meant to be just like professional stuff, or like there's just different platforms for different things. It's not a blog on entrepreneur.com. Like, it's Facebook, it's social. And so you need to decide your message, how it's going to fit within the Facebook social parameters, and then how do you want to be perceived as a company, right? Are you going to be very straightforward? Are you going to be a fun company? Are you going to be unique? Are you going to be a loud company that is very polarizing, where people either love you or they hate you? Are you going to be like leading the industry? Are you going, there's so many different ways. Again, that comes down to your message and what you feel inside you. It's your brand, whatever it is. And this goes all the way down to, if you're launching a general Shopify store that just, is random products all over the place, you still have to have a message. There's got to be some type of story you're telling. All right. This might be easier if you're a small business or a local business, because you've probably already gone through the steps of identifying your story as you built your brand. But no matter what field you're in, small business, global business, online marketer, digital product, info, coach, arbitrage, drop ship, it doesn't matter. You need to have some type of underlying story, because that's what's going to help craft your message. That's what's going to create consistency in your brand. And if you don't determine how you want to be perceived, people are just going to perceive you however they choose to. So you want to be very intentional about the message and the tone that you're putting out there. All right. And you can look at companies and see that some have done this. There's many different, like Nasty Girl, for example, is an example of a boutique that really took the very kind of loud and aggressive approach to that type of industry, as opposed to something that might be a lot more subtle, like The Gap, right? A lot more. So there's very different messages there, okay? There's very different ideas of how they wanted to be perceived when they entered the marketplace. And that, I think, is a good example to kind of let you know what I'm referring to there. Those were intentional. They didn't happen by accident, okay? Great brands are intentional. Not everybody has to like you. Your ideal customers, that's who, and as a matter of fact, you shouldn't have everybody like you, because that means your messaging is wrong. Your message should be so specific that you have an ideal target customer that you're speaking to. And when you're on Facebook, you can have as many groups of ideal customers as you want. You just create a specific message for each group. So if I'm a marketing agency and I want to market to small business owners, right? But I also have my service is also good for global giant companies. Well, I'm going to talk to a small business owner a lot different than I'm going to talk to somebody who owns or manages the marketing for a chain of 100 locations, right? There's different needs, there's different perspectives, and your message has to be crafted. I can still sell to both of them, but if I try to create one ad and run it to both of them, I'm going to have lackluster results, and they're going to be confusing results as well, as opposed to creating one message, one campaign, one perception for small business owners, and then another message, another campaign, another perception for the large companies, right? So that's really, really important there. Number 3. Number 4 is very mechanical. Install your pixel. This is easy. I'm going to show you how to do this. In the next video, we're going to talk all about the pixel, or the next section, we're going to talk all about the pixel. I'll show you how to install it on a few of the popular platforms out there, and then I'll even go into a few strategies of how you use this pixel. Number 5, create and optimize your Facebook page. All right, now you may already have a Facebook page created at this stage, but maybe it's not optimized. We're going to cover all this in Facebook pages. That's another section after the pixel. But of course, you need to have at least one Facebook page for your brand, your business, whatever it is, or you can have multiple Facebook pages depending on what your business looks like. Number 6, start running ads. Okay, so at this point, after you've gone through the foundational work of steps 1 through 3, now your pixel's installed, so you're set up to capture that traffic. And then number 5, your Facebook page is set up and ready to go. Now we can start launching ads and running ads. So that's the next step, and that's a big step that we'll break down in a lot of detail when we get there. Number 7, once you have these ads running, as I've already talked about, you're going to be building assets at the same time, starting with your Facebook page, starting with the traffic that you create. Those are going to turn into audiences, and then, from there you can create larger audiences, and they are assets to your business, and they can be extremely valuable assets, like worth thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, and not even a joke. Number 8, set up retargeting. Okay, you want to have retargeting. Retargeting is the act of showing a new ad or a follow-up ad to somebody who's already interacted with your business. Okay, so somebody who may have clicked on an ad, who may have visited your website, but they didn't purchase, they didn't convert. You show them another ad to try to capture that traffic and make up for some of that fall off that you'll have. Number 9 is scale ads. So when you have ads that are working, when you have campaigns that are working on Facebook, you're able to scale them. And there's multiple ways of scaling. It's not always just increasing the budget, that is one of the main ways. Of course, you can increase the budget. One of the other main ways is you can increase the audience size. But there are other ways that you can scale an ad, and we're going to talk about those when we get into that. That's one of the last steps, because if you have an ad that's ready to scale, you've done everything else correctly basically up to that point, and now you're just ready to start pushing it even bigger to get bigger returns. And then number 10, the last thing is going to be continue process for new products, services, or promotions. So this is basically your 10-point guideline game plan for getting any campaign up and launched, right? Like any campaign up and launched, you're basically going to walk through this same process here. All right, and when you have a new product and you want to launch something new for it, a new service, or a promotional period that you're coming into, like it doesn't matter. You're going to walk through this game plan every time for being able to make sure you're staying to a successful system that, you don't have to deviate, you don't have to guess or anything. It's just stick to the plan, stick to the game plan, walk through it, and every time, and by the end of this course, you're going to be very familiar with all of this, and you're going to be able to execute this game plan for getting your business out there, hitting those marketing and branding goals and objectives that you have, whatever they may be. So I'm excited to continue going through this course. That's all I have in this video, walking through that game plan. I hope that is very valuable for you. Screenshot that. I'll have this image underneath as well, so you can save this as a resource, because again, this is the game plan, and this is something that I'm going to stick to and refer to, because this is basically the process that I walk through every single time. Now, certain steps you may be able to skip, because like say your pixel's already installed, you don't necessarily need to install it again unless you're creating a new place that they're going to, but you always want to check to make sure it's installed, right? So it's like you want to go through these steps every time, no matter what. Practice makes perfect, all right? And complacency kills is what we used to say in the Army. So, you don't want to get complacent. You want to have a system. You want to have a strategy. You want to stick to it, and you want to get good. Just like basketball players, every time they step up to the free throw line, they have the same exact rhythm, whatever they do when they step up to take those free throws, whether it's 2 dribbles and a spin, or whether it's 1 dribble and, whatever it is, they have their routine. And you see that in sports in a lot of different examples, because that muscle memory, that routine, that is the foundation of success. So once you have something that works, you don't need to change it. All right. So that's everything for this video. I'm excited to keep moving in the next section, where we really start to get to installing your Facebook pixel. So as you can see in the game plan, that's kind of where I feel like we've arrived at now, because we've already talked about your marketing goals. We've already talked about your audience a little bit and your message a little bit. We're going to circle back to the audience later, because that's going to, like when we start talking about running ads, I'm going to show you how to take this audience and put it in Facebook. But you can identify your audience right now. You should know your audience. If not, you need to go out there and do some market research to get to know your audience. And then later, when we get here, we're going to create ads that specifically take your audience and target them on Facebook. All right. And that's kind of the way that this course will follow. So again, that's it this time for real. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next section where we're going to learn all about the magical and wonderful Facebook pixel that can make us all a lot of money in our businesses. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.